Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a wise man named Dede Korkut. Dede Korkut was a man with long white beard, sparkling eyes, and full of wisdom. He always wore a white robe and a large turban on his head. Dede Korkut sat in the park every day to teach important life lessons to the children of the village. When he saw their curious looks, he remembered his own youth and listened to them with a warm smile. "Life is full of experiences," he said. "To learn true knowledge, sometimes you need to embark on a journey." There was no one as wise as Dede Korkut in the village. His stories resonated in the hearts of the village children and always excited them. Dede Korkut's mind was much younger than his age. He knew the secrets of life, but he loved most to teach values like patience, sharing, and kindness. Dede Korkut's favorite student was Keloğlan. Keloğlan, with his curly hair and wide smile, was everyone's sweetheart. He was short in stature, but had a big heart. Keloğlan loved playing with his friends, embarking on adventures and telling stories. He was always playful and sought ways to deal with problems. But most importantly, Keloğlan had a feeling of kindness inside him. He was always ready to help others. One day, Keloğlan was sitting in the park and approached Dede Korkut, saying, "Dede, tell us new stories, please." Dede Korkut smiled when he heard Keloğlan's energetic voice. "Of course, but first, you must learn the lessons of these stories," he replied. The children gathered curiously and began to listen excitedly around Dede Korkut. And so, a new adventure began. This adventure would teach them valuable life lessons. Dede Korkut felt it was time to send the children on a new adventure to teach them life lessons. "Now we will all go to the depths of the forest to learn these lessons together," he said. The children preparing for this exciting journey had a sparkle in their eyes. Keloğlan asked, "What awaits us, Dede?" Dede Korkut encouraged them. "You will learn valuable lessons like patience, sharing, and kindness. Are you ready?" Keloğlan and his friends ran after Dede Korkut and set off towards the depths of the forest. The dense green trees, the leaves dancing with the wind, and the chirping of birds increased their joy. Along the way, Keloğlan looked around and said, "There are so many animals here. Look, how fast those rabbits are," to cheer his friends. After a while, Dede Korkut made a stop. A massive rock appeared before them. "Here you will learn to be patient. You must reach the top of this rock, but you must be careful. The impatient ones may fall," he said. The children gathered excitedly around the rock. Keloğlan, looking at the height of the rock, said, "But Dede, how will we get up there? It looks very steep." Dede Korkut replied, "You must climb slowly and carefully. Being patient always yields the best result." Keloğlan and his friends began to climb the rock. At first, some were too hasty and started to slip. Keloğlan shouted, "Be careful! We must be patient!" After a while, the children reached the top of the rock, holding their breath and looking down. The view was amazing. In the distance, green trees, flowers, and streams were shining. Keloğlan shouted joyfully, "Do you see? We got here because of our patience." Dede Korkut said, "That's the reward of patience. Now you will integrate this lesson into your life," he said. The children returned happily after successfully staying on top of the rock with patience. Dede Korkut smiled at them and said, "Now we will learn the second lesson, sharing. Follow me." The children walked behind Dede Korkut towards a new adventure. After a while, they stopped in front of a massive apple tree. The tree was full of colorful apples, and the fruits were shining in the sunlight. Dede Korkut said, These apples are here to teach you the importance of sharing. Each of you can only take one apple, but when you share together, you will find more happiness, he said. Keloğlan and his friends looked at the apples with shining eyes. They immediately gathered around the apple tree. But some children were impressed by the size of the apples and wanted to take them all. Keloğlan said, "No, friends. If we take them all, we will disappoint each other. Let's share together." Keloğlan took an apple, cut it into pieces, and shared it with his friends. Each had small pieces, but they all enjoyed the taste of the apple together. Dede Korkut said, "Here is the beauty of sharing. When you eat together, your happiness increases," he said. The children were very happy from this experience. Keloğlan said, "Now we should always share with each other," he said. The children had successfully completed the second lesson. Dede Korkut directed them to a new adventure. "Now we will also learn the importance of doing good," he said. Dede Korkut took the children to another place in the depths of the forest. While walking, they heard the crying of a puppy. The puppy was stuck in a bush and was helplessly barking. Keloğlan said, "We must help our little friend," and immediately went to him. His friends also joined him. Keloğlan said, "Come on, let's rescue him." The children worked together to rescue the puppy. Finally, they rescued the puppy and hugged him, shouting with joy. Dede Korkut said, "Now you see how valuable doing good is. By rescuing this dog, you warmed your hearts and learned what true friendship is," he said. Keloğlan said, "Now we will adopt him and take good care of him." The children hugged the puppy and returned happily to the village. Keloğlan and his friends were happily returning to their village with Dede Korkut when the sky suddenly darkened. The wind grew stronger and tree leaves rustled ominously. "Don't worry, children. Nature sometimes tests us, but we must be careful," Dede Korkut reassured them. Suddenly, lightning struck a large tree near the village, causing it to fall. Villagers gathered around it, shouting in panic. "Dede, this is bad. What should we do?" asked Keloğlan. Dede Korkut replied, "We must return to the village immediately and help." Gathering his courage, Keloğlan said, "Come on, friends. Let's go help our village." They ran quickly toward the commotion. Upon arrival, they found a large crowd in panic. Dede Korkut advised, "Children, we must remain calm and find a solution." Keloğlan boldly addressed the crowd. "Listen to me. If we work together, we can overcome this. Some should clear debris while others check the trees." The villagers were amazed by Keloğlan's courage, but a major problem remained. The fallen tree blocked the village entrance. "We must move this tree." But how? Keloğlan wondered aloud as his friends began to panic. Dede Korkut reminded them, "Patience and solidarity are always the solution. We just need to trust each other." Inspired, Keloğlan suggested, "If we all push together, we can move this tree." The children gathered around the tree with Keloğlan motivating them. "I'll be in front. We'll overcome this with friendship and solidarity." Despite their coordinated efforts, the tree wouldn't budge. After several attempts, despair began to set in. Suddenly, they heard a sound from deep in the forest. Following it, they discovered a group of small animals, rabbits, squirrels, and birds, that seemed to want to tell them something. Initially puzzled, Keloğlan had a realization. Maybe these animals will guide us. Let's listen to them. The animals approached and tried to show them what to do. Following their guidance, Keloğlan devised a new strategy. With the animals' help, they would try to move the tree using a method they hadn't considered before. Though the challenge remained difficult, they were no longer alone. United with their animal friends, they were now ready to save their village. Keloğlan and his friends gathered around the big tree after considering the animals' call for help. The animals had gathered courageously and decided to show them how they could help. Keloğlan shouted, "Come on, let's fight against this tree together. Remember that we are strong together." His friends immediately gathered around him, and Keloğlan made a new plan for them. A group of friends headed towards the thickest part of the tree. Others headed toward the roots of the tree and the surrounding branches to help everyone work together, feeling the power of solidarity. The animals also ran around, trying to help. The rabbits, squirrels, and birds increased Keloğlan's courage and gave him encouragement. Finally, thanks to the cooperation of the children and the animals, the tree slightly moved from its place. Keloğlan shouted, "Keep going! We can do it!" With their last strength, everyone pushed together. "1, 2, 3!" shouted Keloğlan, and the tree finally fell slowly. Everyone jumped into the air with great joy. The villagers were amazed by the solidarity and courage of these brave children. Everyone congratulated Keloğlan and his friends. Dede Korkut smiled and said, "Have you seen, children, how important it is to be together? Solidarity and friendship always help us overcome difficulties," he said. Keloğlan said, "Yes, Dede, working together made us strong. We learned that we need everyone's help. Now we are not alone in the face of any difficulty," and turned to his friends. Everyone hugged each other joyfully and returned happily to their village. After this experience, the villagers decided to always act together, help each other, and practice solidarity. Keloğlan and his friends, without forgetting Dede Korkut's lessons, told this story to other children in the village. They learned that it is necessary to help each other, and that friendship and love can overcome any difficulty. Now everyone in the village knew how valuable solidarity was. Keloğlan, while embarking on his new path towards new adventures, would always remember this story and continue to do good with his friends, with a heart full of desire.